the Western Force, Knowles?
Oh, name you should know, Manasseh Matayele. Look, he's 25, pushes
low-hanging fruit,
pushes the boundaries. But if you played for the Crusaders, and I mean, we didn't mention it about Nick Frost, but if you were from the Crusaders setup, I mean, you're clearly good. And he's.
I mean, I've seen the guy play. He's very clearly good.
He is very clearly good. And look, he's played for Fiji as well. He's come across looking for a starting jersey because the wealth of talent in the outside backs or any position that the Crusaders have.
When did he last play for Fiji? Can we get that 3-year stand-down rule and get him over to the Wallabies?
Yeah, look, I think it was probably last year. So, no, I don't think so. We've got Pulu, who he's come across, but doesn't really do much. So,
yeah, and with Matayele, I think the exciting thing with him is he's probably going to relish a chance because I didn't realise out of his 31 games for Crusaders, he only started 12 of them. Like, he didn't get that many opportunities just given the talent pool there. But despite that, still scored 17 tries.
Yeah.
So,
he's a fantasy freak when he gets the chance.
Yeah.
And that's the question, Rev. Is he going to be as good in fantasy footy for the Western Force as he was for the Crusaders? Like, if they just throw double cutouts and give him the ball, is he still going to carve up? Are we expecting as much from him?
Well, I think back to that ridiculous offload he threw just before he was getting tackled out, where Richie Mo'unga was on the inside.
Yeah.
And does that work out the same if it's Jacob McIntyre on the inside? I don't know. I don't see it having quite the same effect. I mean, I think we saw with Jordan Olawafela last year, they realized, oh, geez, we've got someone that's just lightning quick. Let's just give him the ball and see what he can do. If they can just piece that together pretty quickly, they don't need to use too many other backs. Just, have some safe defenders and say, hey, Manasseh, just have a run.
I think you're right, though, that he'll lose points on try assists. I think every pass he threw was a try assist for the Crusaders. So that's probably where he might fall down.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
I'm going to go Tim Anstey, guys. I know he's not a household name, but he obviously had a breakout year last year. 24 years old, and he's still his first year, I believe, last year for the Western Force. He was playing Aussie Sevens before that. Anytime I mention him, I must say he's part of the Horned Army that was supporting the Western Sydney Rams, the Greater Sydney Rams, depending on the year. So that's how you know the quality of the man. Fantastic support group, those guys.
Yep.
But look, he just had an exceptional season. And yes, there's a bit of competition in his position, but I think he's a real talent. And if he can start to put some consistent game time in, then you never know how high his ceiling could be. I think he's probably going to come in and do his prime in the next 2 or 3 years. So he's a real talent and someone I'm very excited to see more from.
Definitely.
I think the name I'll add to the players that you should know, and mainly because of his success in the NRC, is Byron Ralston. I think that season that the Western Force came in and just absolutely smoked it. He started all their games. He got 7 tries in those 8 fixtures. And even for the Western Force, he's only played 13 games, but he started in all of them. He's already, as a 21-year-old, sort of cemented himself as someone that, if available, will play. So the big issue for him last year was just some injuries and then sort of getting stuck behind Olawafela and Pulu. But I see him getting a lot of minutes if he's fit and healthy this year. And someone that's really exciting. So the Force might not have a heap of exciting backs, but at least their starting team can have 2 really lightning wings.
Yeah, if we jump across to you might know, the name that jumps out for me is Rhystem Passatella. 20 years old. He got a little bit of game time for the Brumbies last year and looked quite comfortable at this level, and that was as a 19-year-old. But yeah, he's come across to fight with McIntyre for the starting jersey for 10. I think all 3 of us know who would be throwing in from the get-go, and that's Passatella. He's got a excitement to his game that McIntyre does. And I think McIntyre does have a relatively good control for the game, but Passatella just has that X factor, that flair about him. Lots of hype. He's 183 centimeters, 98 kilos. So
yeah, I don't mind a 100 kg fly half, to be honest.
Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah. So, I mean, look, he's going to have another bit of competition with Bayley Kunzel, who we think is going to feel more of that 12 role, but Passatella could do the same as well. He could be 10, he could be 12. I think they're eyeing him off more of that 10 role, but he's an exciting one to watch, and I expect him to get lots of game time this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy not to.
Anyone in that category there for you, Rev?
I guess in a similar mold, Bayley Kunzel, came across from the Brumbies at the same time, so just much of the same. I'll probably see him more as a 12. I'd love to see them as a combination, but he's, I guess, got the difference of actually starting some fixtures. I don't think Passatella got a start at Brumbies. Kunzel got to fill in for Lolosio in the 2020 season when he was injured. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing really just a Brumbies spine. If they can get Fines, Passatella, and Kunzel at 9, 10, 12 at some point, that's actually going to be the most fruitful.
Kunzel's got to be good as well. He's come from Newton, which is they've made both of us
and Southern Districts.
And Southern Districts. He's got to be good there. But he's 186 centimeters as well. So quite a big guy as well. He's 23 years old. So he's still developing, but I think he's got lots of potential moving forward. And that 10-12 jersey combination with Passatella looks very juicy for me.
Yeah. The next name I've got here is down as you might not know, and he's a name that I think is probably, maybe barring Rhystem Passatella in my eyes, probably the most exciting man for the future for this side. That is, I'm wondering if Rev's got the same name in front of him. That's Jack Winchester, sorry. There you go, I buggered it. He won the John Eales Rugby Excellence Scholarship at Bond Uni. He signed a 2-year contract last year when Montoya fell through because of visa reasons. And he's a development player, but just an exceptional young hooker who I believe left the Reds Academy as well. He's going to be, I think Feleti Kaitu'u is obviously going to be the starting hooker for them this year. But Andrew Reddy, I don't think he's done enough to really nail down a spot consistently. So we might see more of Winchester. And who knows, one injury to Kaitu'u and all of a sudden this young man, this prospect could be getting a fair bit of time as well.
Yeah.
I just, as you said that, realised, Andrew Reddy hasn't played well since leaving the Reds. I'm like, oh, there's another one. Just
yeah. I mean,
hits keep coming.
I mean, the thing the Waratahs do well is, we've got the biggest playing group in all of Australia, but we don't televise who's come from New South Wales, whereas Queensland seems to just put it out. Everyone knows who's from Queensland.
I'm pretty sure Kaitu'u is from New South Wales. So there you go. The actual starter. So better than the Queensland players.
Yeah. Something about the Queensland players, they want to tell everyone they're from Queensland.
Yeah. No, they want everyone to know they're leaving. They go, we can make good choices.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look at me.
I think one more you might not know is Daniel Alla. 21. We think he's 21.
He's like, they don't have his actual birthday, so he's either 21, 22, around that. Now,
he was Aussie Schools back in 2018, played for Manly SG Ball and through the Manly trials. We don't want to keep hyping up rugby league players coming across, but he's made the smart choice and switched back into Union, but he is an exciting young winger. And I mean, he could definitely get a shot at a wing spot, depending who puts their hand up this year.
I think he's a big boy as well. Yeah.
Yeah.